Okay. So, as I was saying earlier, right? Some people in this class are still doing the same thing on day 9 that you did on day 1. And that's not good for you. Now, the one thing that I just can't forgive, some of the things I can, but the one thing I cannot forgive is when I have told you over and over and over that the central idea has one, must be expressed in one complete declarative sentence. And I told you that all main points have to be the same way. All summary statements have to be the same way. Right? And for some reason, some students, 2, 3, 4 sentences, you're trying to express a central idea. That's not good. Now, a lot of students, they understand that and they don't do that anymore. But for the ones who are still doing it, it's a problem for you. So, like I said, I've given you a lot of feedback on your persuasive speeches as well. If I don't see that there's been some change from what I told you in the working outline, what I told you in the persuasive outline, because for some reason, the persuasive outline, the preparation outline is looking just like the working outline. And some of you have totally abandoned the template. You think because I'm doing a motivated sequence style that I don't need to use that template, Professor Utley Herring told us we needed to use. I'm not going to use that anymore. Even though she didn't say that, I'm just going to put that in, that I don't have to use that anymore. I don't know where it comes from, why that decision was made, but I've told you since day 1, the template is extremely important. Many of you submitted your preparation outlines. They were like in the whole full paragraph. It was no outlining being done. A lot of you just do the introduction and that's it. And then the rest of it is just, hey, we're just going for it. I don't understand the regression. Like, why are people regressing, going backwards? I know that some of it comes from people not reading. I could tell that. You just didn't read it. You just didn't look at the instructions. I've got people giving me things that have nothing to do with the assignment. Absolutely nothing to do with this. Just submit something. But that's not going to improve your grade. If I told you, hey, listen, I can't open your speech or whatever you sent me, I can't open it. And for the whole semester, you never resubmitted it. You never tried to fix it. I don't know what you would expect from me as your teacher. If I told you I can't open this and you've been sitting there on that 0 for forever, why? Is it because you don't care or you just figure, okay, well, I'll just get a 0? She told me to fix it. She told me she can't open it. I'm not going to make any effort to correct that. This is what we've been dealing with. So when you get your grade at the end, I want you to understand why you got that grade. That's going to be why you got that grade. Because number 1, you did not listen. You refused to take my suggestions. Ignore. And you continue to do the same thing that you did on day 1 on day 10. You continue to do it. And I told you from day 1 and throughout the semester, I'm going to grade you on how well you've improved. So if you had a rocky start in the beginning, it's okay. You can overcome it. But you have to put forth the effort. This is your grade, not mine. And if you didn't put forth the effort, it's kind of like too late now for a lot of this stuff. But for this persuasive speech, which I told you, the informative speech, the persuasive speech, they're worth the most amount of points in this class. Some people didn't even submit a preparation outline, but they really feel like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to deliver this speech. I'm going to post the speech anyway. But guess what? It's still sitting in there. And it's going to sit in there uncorrected, unviewed. Some of you have come a long way, and I'm very proud of what you have accomplished so far. But some of you just refuse to put forth an effort. But I want you to understand that that's the reason why you're going to get the grades you're going to get, because you have put forth the effort. This is your last opportunity. So work on this speech. Go back and look at all the comments that I gave you for this speech. And wherever you see where I told you this needs to change, this is what's wrong with this, in my opinion, because I'm your teacher and I'm the person that's grading you. So even if you don't agree with me, that's fine. You don't have to. But I'm the person that's going to give you the grade. So I'm going to take this time today to put you in your groups and let you just work on your speeches. So that next week when you come, it's going to be a fantastic speech for every group, not just the one group, not just with two groups, for every group. Every group is going to improve. Every group is going to go back and look at what did Professor Utley Herring tell us we need to be mindful of. And I'm sure you see it. It's there. I've told you. So I want you to practice. I want you to put your best foot forward. I want you to act like this is your last chance. Even if you've been doing well, I want you to act like this is my last chance. Okay? You paid a lot of money being in this class and to learn something. So I want you to get every bit of your money's worth for this class. And again, I told you, this course can help you throughout your life in areas that you might not ever imagine it will come in handy. Okay? This is why it's a core requirement. Why every student in the school has to take a class like this or similar to this. It's a core requirement. Now, I want to go over again the expectations of this persuasive speech. There are instructions, okay? There are instructions that tell you what is required. Some people gave their informative speech. They didn't have one single visual whatsoever. Not one. And some people were commenting, oh, you did a good speech. Like, what? All right. In your persuasive speeches, you are required to have six credible sources. Okay. Six. Not three. That was in your informative. Not three. A lot of people just gave me three. Not three. It's six. Okay. Next thing about these credible sources, I sent you the report I got on what you submitted me about How much of this information was copied directly out of the textbook, the sources that you say you used? The computer automatically goes in there and looks to see, did this student copy this? This is what we call plagiarism. It's a very serious charge, especially in college. You cannot just write down exactly what's in the book and present it that's your ideas. That's stealing someone else's work. You can't do it. So if you got one of those reports telling me that your speech was a 70% copy, I had a group that gave me, I'm not saying it's this class, but I had a group that gave me 100% copied out of their text, out of the sources that they were using. That's not okay. All this AI, you want to use AI, you've been told it's in the syllabus. You can't use AI in this class. I don't want to know what the computer thinks. I want to know what you think. Do you really think that's going to help you along the way? If you just let the computer generate your ideas, it makes you lazy. That makes you very lazy. Okay. And now your head is not filled with information at all. And when you're really going to need this information to help you, you're not going to know what to do. Don't use AI for your college papers, for your college work. You're here to tell the teacher what are your ideas, not what is some computerized information. That's why the speeches make no sense. That's why the stuff some of you submit, not all of you, but some of the stuff that you all submit, it makes no sense. And the reason why it makes no sense is not because you're not equipped or intelligent enough to know. It's because you let the computer do it. And the computer is not sitting in his class. So the computer doesn't know everything your teacher told you to do. Okay? The computer's going to give you some other thing that it knows. This class, you're not permitted to use AI to generate a speech. It tells you that in the syllabus. So if you are one of the people who committed some of these egregious acts, then you need to go back and fix it. And don't submit that to me again. And if you're going to change it, you need to resubmit what you changed to. Okay? I need to see what it is you changed it to. I'm not going to sit there and try to figure it out and go back and look at your other speech. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay? So 6 sources, credible sources, meaning you needed to go to the library. Okay? That's where your credible sources are, not on the internet. If you just gave me a website, okay, that's not considered a credible source like that. That's not the APA format. If you don't know what APA format is, you better learn. And I even told you that you don't even really have to know what it looks like if you properly went to the databases and you properly copied the APA format. It's very easy for you, but I think the problem now is that it's just too easy for you. This is too easy. I can just do it. I don't have to put forth these efforts. 6 credible sources. I want to see them. I told everybody, you have to have 3 oral citations.
Yes.
3 of them.
Buen día.
I hardly see any I hardly see any in your speeches at all. I hardly saw any. Let's just hand her anything. She said we'll get an A or a B. Well, you missed all the rest of the part of if you improve. You can't get an A or a B if you keep doing the same thing. You are also going to be given an opportunity for some extra credit on this speech with some intelligent questions to the group about their speech. You all get to do this at least 3 times. You can ask a question. But the operative word is intelligent question. I'm not going to let you just say anything and think you're going to get some credit for it. Okay? You had to listen to the speech, and it needs to be related to the speech, and it needs to make sense. There is a rubric. For those of you who don't know what a rubric is, it's actually a guide on how you will get this grade if you do this. You will get this grade if you do that. It tells you all the requirements for you to succeed. It gives you an idea of what the teacher anticipates or expects from you. Okay? So there is a rubric in week 9 about your persuasive speech. So go in there and look at it and make certain that you have fulfilled all of the requirements. In the very beginning of this class, I gave you a checklist for the central idea. A lot of people probably never even opened and looked at it, because if you did, you wouldn't make all these mistakes on the central idea. If you get nothing else down, you have to understand that it's 3 parts to a speech. Okay? You have to know the rules for a specific purpose, a central idea, and a main point. You need to know what is your supporting material supposed to look like. As well, you need to know, how do I present it to my audience? Okay? It's not enough. I had one student, the visuals that they gave, they were giving a speech about a baseball positions, how to uh, do a specific move in baseball. And the person gave, actually, for their visuals, a picture of a baseball and a picture of a bat. Now, just logically thinking, if you never really knew, how much do you think that's going to help your audience to understand the meaning of your message? A picture of a baseball and a picture of a bat. That's not a good visual. You did not present it well. Now, that student did overcome that and decided, okay, I'm going to be the visual. I'm going to hold the bat, and I'm going to demonstrate the actual positions and what I'm actually talking about. And the speech went swimmingly. And as well, the student got out of that robotic behavior of, today I'm going to give you a speech about the 3 types of, okay? Because he got in his natural stance. He knew what he was talking about, and he actually delivered a wonderful speech. So be mindful about these visuals. It's not just a matter, okay, I got to put 3 things up there. I don't care what they are. Okay? I told you, if you have a graph, make the graph meaningful and explain it. What does it mean to your audience? Let them know. What does this mean? Okay? It's very important. Do not come here next week with a full PowerPoint presentation. This is something I see a lot of times where I tell students this is not a PowerPoint presentation. I don't want to see your picture up there on the far right corner, so small I can't even see you. And there's a big old pictures of some writings and all. We can't evaluate you that way. So we don't want you to do that. Okay? If you put a slide up, make sure that slide is relative to what you're talking about. As soon as it's not, take the slide down if you're using slides. A visual does not have to be a slide. It could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a PowerPoint. Okay? So just understand that going forward. I don't want to see that next week. Another thing. Okay, everybody turn on your cameras in this class. Please. I'm talking to you. I told you that was a requirement. Thank you. Still got 3 people off camera. Please turn your camera on. Thank you. Okay. Another thing. In your persuasive speeches, I told you you need the 6 credible sources. You really should look for a source that is the total opposite of what you're talking about. And I'm going to tell you why. That source is going to be the counter argument that you present in your speech. You are required to give all sides of an issue. And when you're making a speech that is trying to persuade someone to do something, it is imperative that you yourself, as the speaker, get on the other side of the argument, present it, and knock it down. And tell us why that argument makes no sense. And why your argument beats that other argument. Okay? That's what you need to do in your speech, in your persuasive speeches. So find out what is the opposing view of what you're talking about. Include that in your persuasive speech and shoot it down. Again, don't stand before us and say, researchers say. What researchers? What's their area of expertise? How do you know? When was this article written? Oh, according to this article from such and such, X, Y, and Z. Well, when was the article written? Is it relative? These are all things you must be mindful. We've been in this class for 9 weeks now. 9 weeks. We've been in this class. So you should have more. You should be demonstrating more than I see you demonstrating to me. You should be demonstrating more. Okay? And I'm giving you this opportunity next week to show me all of that. Show me all of it. You got it in you. All of you know what to do and how to do it. I don't know why all of you just don't do it. I don't know. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong next week. Another thing. No hats next week with names on them. Hey, Colin. All right. No hats. Why? It could become a distraction for you, for your audience. Okay. especially the ones that have the front like a baseball cap thing, hides your face, hides your eye movement. We don't want that. So no hats next week. Right. Um, a lot of the informative speeches, like now I'm not gonna say a lot, some of them. And remember, it's not just your class. I have other classes too. So just talk for everybody. If it applies, it applies. If it doesn't, don't worry. It's not. I'm not talking to you. When you're giving a speech, you need to try to dress the part, right? I think I told you that the first day too. So don't give me a don't present your speech and your ideas, okay? And you look unserious, right? You look unserious. Take the pride. I want to see the full picture. Okay? If you're trying to impress me as an audience member to persuade me around to your way of thinking, then do that. Don't distract me away from your message with these other things that you may be doing. Okay? Don't do that. Be present, be mindful of what you're doing. Now, are there any questions about next week's assignment? Any questions at all that you may have, you don't understand still, anything? So Israel and Kayla, is it a reason why you can't turn on your cameras? I'm happy to have you here in the class, but we need to see your face.
Professor, I have a question.
Sure.
I don't have a group because Kyle never responded to my messages and Daniel isn't even here.
Okay.
And I don't know.
All right. So what I
Same.
said about in that case is that you
Mhm.
just move forward. I did see
Okay.
that you submitted Amber, so
Yeah.
you will get the full credit if the other people don't show up in your group.
Okay.
So if they do show up, then you can help them. But again, everybody gets a chance to grade everybody in your group. Everybody gets a chance to do that.
Okay.
Manny, did you have a question?
So you said we needed 6 sources, right?
6 sources, yeah.
And then was there like a certain amount of visuals that we need?
Yeah, the 3 visuals. I
Okay.
think the whole thing is 5.
There's like is there somewhere where it's all like posted?
Of
So
course. Of course. The information is there. Yeah, remember I told you day one. You gotta open up all those modules in the week that you're supposed to be coming to class, prior to coming to class. You open them up, you'll see all of that stuff in there. It's in there. You need at least one visual for each main point.
Professor,
Mhm.
Are we still gonna be put in groups for next week's class?
Say again now.
Are we still gonna be put in groups today for next week's class?
Are we going to be put in groups today for next week? Is that the question?
Yeah, you said that
Yes.
you'll give
Yeah,
us
I'm gonna
time.
put you in a group. Mhm.
Okay.
For you to work. It's 5 credible sources, okay? 5 slides or visuals or objects, okay? And at least 1 for each main point. So you need 5 visuals. Now, when you submit your speaking outline, remember that is not a working outline, it's not a preparation, it's a speaking outline. The speaking outline needs to follow the same system of symbolization as your other outlines. It's just the information you're putting in there is different. You need to put that information about your sources in the speeches. Okay, put that in there, particularly those 3 oral citations. You want that in the speech so you know, and when you're looking at it, you know. Now, I see students continuously writing your whole speech on note cards. That forces you to try to read it. You have to practice. You have to outline it and don't put off. The only reason why you have to put the entire speech in the outline for me as your preparation outline, so I can see what are you writing, what are you saying, and I can help you to improve where you need it or tell you where you're doing a great job. But for your own speech, don't write out every single thing. It's going to force you. You're going to be forced to read it. And then you have to practice it. You have to practice. You can't just like do it 1 or 2 times and think it's okay. You have to practice a lot of times so much that you're tired of it. This is what we call extemporaneous. Some of you didn't get a good job on extemporaneous. You didn't have sources, enough credible sources. Okay. You never said any citations. All you did was just talk to us about what you think about this informative topic. And that's not what an informative speech is. And I think some of you still stuck on the impressive person. But I told you from day one, the reason why you do those speeches like that is because you don't know anything. But you've been here for a long time now, so you know more. You have moved past just giving your opinions about something. It's very nice that you want to tell us that, but we need to see the proof from an expert in the field, not just your opinions. That's not what an extemporaneous speech is like at all. It requires research. It requires rehearsal and practice. It requires strategic formatting and organization. Okay, 6 to 8 minutes. You need to divide that time up amongst your group, the 6 to 8 minutes. Again, it tells you in the instructions, consider this a formal presentation so that you should dress and look businesslike when you're giving this presentation. This is a serious thing. Right? So no lounging on the couch, chilling, hand down here, just telling us this is a serious presentation. I want you to take it seriously. I want you to give it to us seriously. I want you to make us proud. Make me feel like you did listen to me this semester a little bit. Again, no outlines submitted. You can't deliver your speech. Okay.
Professor, so
Start the presentation. You're committed. It's no do-overs. All right. If you stumble or your technology doesn't work right, I don't want you to get too consumed about it. Just move on the best that you can. All right. Just move on the best that you can. Now I'm going to put you in your groups, and I'm going to come around and see if you have any questions for me or anything you want to add or talk about with me, or you can come back into the class if you wanted to talk to me privately. Okay. Any questions before we move to the group? You guys could do it. I know you can. I could tell in some of your writings that you're very intelligent. You know what to do. Some of you just don't. I think something else is prioritizing you. How many people we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Israel, are you still there? Group 2. Manny, it looks like you're all by yourself too. Okay. Group 3 is Gigi. Colin and Caleb. Okay. 3. And group 4 is Israel, Giovanni, and Shannon. Okay. All right. I'm going to put you in your groups. The people that just have one. Manny, how far have you gotten?
So I got as far as the I sent you the introduction to the speech. That's as far as I've gotten.
Okay, so now remember the introduction is supposed to be the last part of the speech that you
Yeah.
develop.
I might change it then.
Um, do you feel like you might want to move over and work with Amber?
I think I can do
Or
this
you
pretty
think
well
you can
because
just do it yourself? Hey Amber, how do you feel about that? Amber still here? Yeah. How do you feel about that, Amber?
Yeah, it's okay. I can work with him.
If he wants to, I don't know,
Yeah, if it
because he
wants
might
to.
already started and wants to finish.
yeah, I wanna pursue my
Okay, all
subject.
right, that's fine.
It's
And
okay.
I'm going to reach out to the people in your group. Manny, I'm sure Ruby is going to come back. So I'm going to reach out to Ruby and see where she at. I haven't heard from her why she's not coming today, but I'm going to reach out to Ruby. And Ruby can be a big help to you because Ruby, she's pretty versed and knows what she's doing. So I'm going to reach out to her. You reach out to her again too. Okay. So you guys can get that together. And Amber,
Yes.
I'm surprised at Kyle. I'm going to reach out for Kyle and find out where he's
Yeah.
to. All right. Let me put you in. All right. Make you proud. Press join, ladies. You might have to press join. Press join, Israel. Do you see it?
No, I don't see it. Sorry, I've been having some technical difficulties.
Okay, let me see. Israel.
Uh,
4.
Oh, I see it now. Thank you.